Hi, this is Drew Cooper, and you're listening to Texas Toast Podcast.
Fast, so let's go.
Welcome to the Texas Toast Podcast with Miss Helen. So happy to invite back one of my favorite guests, great storyteller. We had a great visit the first time you were here. Hello and welcome to Drew Cooper again. Hey, Drew, how's it going?
Hey, Helen, thanks for having me.
Yeah, I got a quick story to tell you because I know when you were on the podcast, you probably don't remember, but this right here still hangs on my refrigerator. It's one of your quotes.
That's awesome. That makes me feel. Hopefully, it's one of my good ones.
Yeah, it's the one, those Texas guys, those are real stories they are telling, mainstream music rights, and it goes on and on.
Yeah,
Because I had shared it when we were on the podcast last time, which was a little bit over a year ago. And
yeah.
Madeline was out. We talked about your album, This Life. So just catch us up in the last year. How have things been going? What's some of the big
Oh,
highlights for you?
it's been crazy. In the last year, we've played with Cody Canada. We were on the Robert O'Keen's last tour. We Ray Wiley Hubbard. We did Steamboat. Man, we've been all over the country. Out with Mike and the Moon Pies. It's been a crazy year. Crazy
That,
good.
yeah,
Crazy good year.
that's a great year for you getting to play with
Yeah.
some of your heroes.
Oh, absolutely. Cody Canada is always top notch.
Right.
But the Robert O'Keen and Ray Wiley Hubbard was pretty nuts to me.
Well, so proud for you on that. And of course, I know that you have an interesting story about when you were a bouncer and the first time you saw Cody Canada, and that was like your big
Oh,
moment for
that was my
music.
moment. Yeah, that was
Yes.
my moment. That was people get lucky and you have those. I'm lucky to have it. Like it's a some people it takes a long time to get that turn in the right direction. I got it all in one hit, and it was great. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, you have such great stories, and we'll talk about another one. But I am super excited because you have a new single out to radio. We're here to talk about. It's called Best of Me. So let's
Yeah.
discuss that and getting it to radio and what's to come with it.
So best of me is this cool song. That I mean, I wish I could say I wrote it. I wish it were 100% mine. But my buddy Hunter Johnson wrote it. He's out of Phoenix, Arizona. He now lives in the Black Hills. He's found his own little space and piece of America that is quiet. He lives there with his family. But he wrote this years ago, and I remember the first time I heard it, I'm like, oh, it sounds like I wrote it. I wish I had. I wish it was mine. And so we made it a big part of our show. We played it almost every night, and in that process, we made it ours. We had this version that was different than Hunter's, and made it ours. Um, and then I realized like this song's kind of how I go about my life.
Mhm.
It's okay. You're gonna get a version of me today, but tomorrow you're gonna get a better version of me. That's you're never gonna see the best of me, but you got a better version today. Tomorrow's gonna be even better, kind of thing. And I relate to it. Growing up in a smaller town, um, and then kind of moving out of that. And despite being an artist, I am a fairly quiet person. I don't walk into the room needing to be the center of attention. Um, but this song kind of talks about coming out of your shell, and the people that do that for you. And my wife does that for me. My wife makes me comfortable wherever I'm at, even in extremely uncomfortable situations. And she makes me better every day. So, and this song's about that. It's about everything we want, all those things you want to be, and people don't realize they are until until they look back and they go, "Oh man, look at I didn't realize I was doing that." Yeah, you were.
Right, right.
You'd be surprised how many people if they actually kept track of their goals, and talked to themselves 15 years ago, would be like, "Oh, holy cow, I'm doing everything I said I wanted to do." You know, and you don't realize it because you're in the thick of it. You're still grinding, you're still working, or you only see the bad. But you know, a lot of people are doing it, and that's what this. That's why I released this song because we're all doing it. We're all in the process of getting better.
Yes.
You know, me and my band especially, we're working every day to be a little bit better. And some
Yeah.
days we win and some days we don't, but most days we do.
Yeah. Grinding and growing. How is your band doing?
Band's doing great. We've added a couple new guys, just because we've been touring so much. It's really, you know, we have guys that have families, and you can't ask. That's one thing I've always told my guys: if you say there's something with your family, we'll never question you. We'll
Mhm.
cancel a show. You'll never hear us say, "Well, what is it?" No, you said there's something with your family. There's something with your family. That's it. So we had a couple guys that needed to spend more time with their family, and that's what they've done, and you can't fault anyone for doing that. That's just, if I could make a living spending time with my family, that's what I would do. So I never really get on my guys about that, but we had some guys changing it out. We have some guys that still flip flopping it out. Some guys don't go, hey, I can only work X amount of days a month, and the other guy goes, hey, I can work the other X amount of days, and so we make it work.
How's your family doing?
My family is. I mean, we had a little baby girl last time we talked. She's
Hmm.
now almost 1.5. My son's driving now.
Oh my gosh.
Uh, my middle
Oh,
daughter is about to turn 10, and we just took a foster dog in today. So that brings us up to 3 dogs, 3 cats, a lot of fish, and a couple horses. And
how
so
much?
it is a process here at the house. There's a lot of movement all the time. Not a lot of sleeping in this house. So, uh, but it's fun. Keeps me young.
That's what I was going to say. It sounds like a fun house to be in and lots of great memories being built for your children because they grow up so fast.
Oh, so quick. As I said, I have a 16-year-old and I have a 9-year-old, and I remember, the 9-year-old used to have bad dreams that come in and wake us up and crawl in bed, and she came in the other night for a bad dream, and it had been a while, and I thought to myself, who would have thought you'd miss those little things? My
Mhm.
16-year-old, I was thinking about, I used to drive him to school every day,
Mhm.
and now he drives himself to school every day, and I'm like, oh, I kind of miss waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning to get ready and take him to school, but such is life, you gotta let them grow up and let them be adults, I guess.
Yes. It's
This is the
funny.
saddest conversation I've had all day.
I know, I know. It's funny, but it's good times, good times. So
Yeah.
let's talk about also. All right, so you got Best of Me released. So is there going to be some more new music coming? Have you been back to 606 to record?
We have some more music coming out of the 606. We also have some a project that I took on in the meantime because I've been writing so much. A lot of our stuff is rock based and really really up front, up in your face musically, and has a bunch of great production on it. But I've been writing some really great songs that I'm going to put out that are going to be 2 or 3 instruments per track as well, and they're going to come out on separate albums. And so like the next single we're gonna do is going to be called "The Other Lone Star State."
Oh wow,
And yeah,
I
well, if
like
you look
that.
around, there's only two. There's only two flags with one star on it. That's Texas and Arizona, and so that one's going to come out, and we have some special guests playing on that. I don't want to give away the story yet on that one, but we have special guests that are going to play on that one, and then that'll be part of a little EP called "Sadder Songs That You'd Hope For,"
Hmm.
because usually we put out upbeat kind of rock stuff, and I got some sad songs. Not because I'm a sad person, just because I wrote them. And then I have a project that's cooking with Cody Canada right now. I don't know when that's going to release yet, but it'll be really exciting to get that one out. So we just started working on it. We're hoping to finish it in July and then get it out as quickly as we can. So that'll be exciting to put out. It'll be something you all recognize, but not something you expected. So
Oh my goodness, that
yeah,
sounds so good.
yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. It was Cody's idea. So if when he says, "Hey, let's do something," your answer is always yes, absolutely, and you do it.
Yes.
So
Well, That's good news to hear. And just to back up, another interesting story from you is how you ended up at 606 from a fan that used to come to your shows when you played at the burger place. We're just gonna go revisit that story because it's so awesome.
Yeah, Amy used to come in and she would buy CDs from us all the time, and like she'd buy 2 CDs a week, and it honestly it weirded me out at first.
Mm.
Like, what are you doing with all these CDs? Do you just have a stack of CDs at home? Are you doing this out of charity to this poor band that sits in the corner and plays, 4 hours of music for a crowd that's really not paying attention? And finally, she said, "You got to come by the house, and I need you to meet somebody." And I thought, okay, that's now it's getting weirder, but we're gonna try it anyway. And her husband Brian, which I didn't know at the time, was front of house for the Foo Fighters, and he reached out to Dave and made it happen. And it took me a while to actually follow through. I was so nervous. It took me a while to follow through and have the guts to say, "Yeah, I want to record here." It was just, you know, actually, my first two studios I ever recorded at came out of that burger joint. The very first one, I don't know if I mentioned this, but is Sputnik Studios. Vance Powell, Mitch Dane, same guys who did Jars of Clay and Chris Stapleton. They saw me there and invited me out to their studio. You would never think this little burger joint, and it was actually a steakhouse that had a burger night
Hmm. Hmm.
that that would work out of. And the guy who used to own it, his brother is Mark Weistrack from Midland. It's just a
Hmm.
weird happenstance of things that kind of fell into place to make it happen. So, uh, yeah, I still can't get over it. I tell the story every time, and I'm like, God, this kind of sound like it's made up. Like I just pulled a bunch of names out of a hat and said, "Here's how this happened. It's a Mad Lib." Drew Cooper played at a burger joint, and he,
Right.
yeah, absolutely insane. It's 606 is still a big part of my life. I talk to my producer quite often still, and we always have new songs and projects we're planning out working on. And I was actually supposed to be up in that area this week. We had to change plans, and so my plan was to be spending today at the 606 doing some other things, but I am not. I'm home, so it worked out.
Home gonna have a fun summer day with the kids and the animals and your wife. Y'all got any special plans while you're home?
I'm training this new dog not to attack our chickens is the thing
True.
we're doing right this moment. Uh, it's a little. I'm sorry, I'm looking out the window at this thing.
No, go
Uh,
ahead.
she's a German Shepherd, and she has not seen chickens. So this chickens are that she's really interested in chickens right now. So
Well, hopefully they'll make friends before too long.
yeah, hope because our chicken we let them roam during the day. They kind of
Mhm.
kind of do their own thing. So our other dogs don't mind them. It's
It's fun.
it's it's
What a great
fun.
life you have. I mean, that's like I just love this whole like do y'all go on family vacations and trips or you like the Griswolds?
We we have a family vacation, so we head out on tour this summer, and we're out for 45 days. And so I have to see my family in the middle of that. Otherwise, mentally, I can't handle it. I
Hmm.
miss my
Hmm.
kids. My wife's watching, and so the plan was to have them fly into my hometown, Springfield, Illinois, and we do 2 shows there. We do one on a Sunday, we do one on a Wednesday before we head to Country Thunder, Wisconsin, and so that was decision was made. They were going to fly in a while back. Well, then my mom heard about it, and my sister heard about it, and my brother heard about it. And now the entirety of my family is flying to our hometown, and they decided, well, now it's to be a family reunion, and it's going to be pure craziness. So absolute craziness. So we will be the Clampets. We will be
The Clampets.
we will be the Clampets. We will be National Lampoon. You name it, that'll be us. There's some of us flying, some of us driving. I guarantee you, someone's going to try to take a train. We'll see how it works out. It'll be craziness. It's by a lake. Someone's going to fall in. I guarantee it.
That's good times right there. Good stories. Well, we're looking forward to the new music and, of course, Best of Me out to radio. And I know it's going to do good. Great song. And it was great visiting with you again, Drew.
Well, thank you so much. Great talking with you anytime.